Part 125. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1241. Chapter 1241. Who wouldn't want the position of the daughter of the Bai family? Now that I have finally found her, I can imagine how precious she will be in the future. It's just that, looking at the young master's behavior, it seems that he doesn't agree with the sister. He even said something like false paternity test, which shows that he is really dissatisfied in his heart. But then again, in fact, they also felt that Miss Jiao did not look like Madam and Master. Han is nothing like the young master. No matter in appearance or demeanor, he doesn't look like a member of the Bai family. So it's normal for the young master to be suspicious. After all, recognizing relatives is not a trivial matter, and recognizing relatives from the Bai family is even less trivial. But can something like a paternity test be falsified? Asterisk. In the study, Ms. Bai was still a little dissatisfied with Bai Yusheng's behavior downstairs just now. She frowned and said, "Yusheng, I know you don't like her. You like Mian and want Mian to be your sister. But you shouldn't do it in front of her. How hurtful it is to say those words in front of him. Whether you like her or not, she is still your sister. Our Bai family has owed her more than 10 years. Even if you don't like her, you should be nice to her." "Mom, do you really think she is Xiao Qi?" Bai Yusheng looked at Ms. Bai and said calmly. "I had doubts at first facing her son." Ms. Bai told the truth, of course, but the paternity test results can't be false. "I have also considered the things you are worried about, so I chose the doctor." People. He could not have lied to me. Bai Yusheng pursed her lips and was silent for a few seconds, still feeling that there was something fishy about this matter. From the night of the dinner to now, every step of the development is full of strangeness. "Mom, tell me carefully, how did you find out that Jiao Angzhen might be Xiao Qi that night?" Ms. Bai thought about it and recounted what happened that night in detail. After listening, Bai Yusheng narrowed his eyes. His guess was correct, there was indeed something fishy about this matter. "You were the one who hired the doctor who did the appraisal, and the one who drew the blood." After a moment of silence, he suddenly thought of a doubt. Ms. Bai was stunned. Looking at her reaction, Bai Yusheng knew the answer. "Mom, the person who drew the blood is not the person you found, but someone else." Bai Yusheng's lips curved into a sneer. "So, this matter can still be faked." "I don't believe in those data, I believe in me more own intuition. If Xiaoqi is really one of the two daughters of the Chiao family, then I believe that Mian is from our Bai family. Mian looks like you. You also said that you have a very special affection for Mian. I have the same feeling. But none of us have that feeling for Jiao Angzhen, and she looks nothing like anyone in our family. Not like that. Do you really think she is Xiao Qi?" Ms. Bai was convinced of the identification results at first. After listening to his analysis, I gradually began to have some doubts in my heart. Besides, Jiao Angzhen told you that her actual age is 19. The Jiao family reduced her age by 1 year in order to protect her. Don't you think this reason is too flimsy?" Ms. Bai frowned and fell silent. "But why does she want to pretend?" "Why," Bai Yusheng sneered, "who wouldn't want the position of Bai family's daughter? Who wouldn't be tempted by the opportunity to take her place? What's more, she can even do something as shameless as robbing Mian's fiancé. What else can she do? Is it something she can't do?" End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1242. Chapter 1242, Tampering with the Blood. "Mom, there's something I haven't told you." "What?" Bai Yusheng never thought of exposing Shenrou's true face. But since she still clings to Jiao Mian and gets involved in the Bai family's affairs, he can no longer tolerate it. Bai Yusheng told Mrs. Bai about the day Shenro came to him to join forces to deal with Jiao Mian. After hearing this, Mrs. Bai was surprised and angry. Is everything you said true? Mom, do I need to lie to you? I really didn't expect that the daughter of the Shen family would be such a terrible person. She pretended to be so kind and sensible, considerate, and gentle in front of me. I really thought she was a good child. Also thinking about getting a chance to bring her and Bai Yusheng together again. Mrs. Bai trembled with anger at the thought of being deceived like a fool. She went too far. Where did Mian offend her? She actually wanted to break up Mian's good marriage. She likes Mo Yesi, Bai Yusheng said. The person Mo Yesi likes is Mian. Of course she can't accept the man she likes being with another woman. What's more, she also feels that Mian is not as good as her in everything. Even more unwilling. Mian is kinder than her. Before Mrs. Bai's breath calmed down, her face turned red with anger. It's too much, it's really too much. Speaking of which, she had a premeditated plan to bring Jiao Angzhen that night. Later, she came to me for a toast, and the red wine was, if their skirts are dirty, let me take them to change them. Mrs. Bai was now awakened. She recalled every detail of that night, and found that it was really a premeditated plan. The purpose of toasting was to stain the skirt, and then to ask her to take them to change clothes after staining the skirt, just to let her see the birthmark on Jiao An's body. As long as she has doubts about Jiao Angzhen's identity, she will definitely take Jiao Angzhen for a paternity test. Next. In an instant, Madame Bai's face turned extremely ugly. But, that paternity test. She still felt that there was something she couldn't figure out. If she wasn't Xiao Qi, why did the result of the test look like that? Could it be that someone had tampered with the blood? But how did they know? Who is Xiao Qi and where did he get the blood from? If the identification result is correct, then the blood was tampered with. Bai Yusheng's eyes darkened and he said in a cold voice, I will definitely get to the bottom of this matter. No one can pretend to be Xiao Qi. Then Jiao Angzhen. Mrs. Bai became extremely angry when she thought that she might be an imposter. I'll go find her now and ask her why she pretended to be Xiao Qi. Mom, don't be impulsive. Bai Yusheng stopped her. If you do this, you will only scare the enemy. Then, what should I do? You act like you don't know anything now. In short, don't make her suspicious. I will have someone investigate this matter right away. Asterisk. After Mrs. Bai left, Bai Yusheng immediately made a phone call. Soon, someone picked up the call and called out respectfully, Mr. Bai. Today my mother took someone to the hospital for a paternity test. Are you sure the test result is accurate? Yes, Mr. Bai. I conducted genetic testing on the blood of Mrs. Bai and Miss Jiao. Because I was afraid of making mistakes, I tested it several times. But the final results were the same. So I'm pretty sure that the identification is very accurate. I know that the plots of the past few days have made you very frustrated, and the following content should be able to relieve your anger. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1243. Chapter 1243, Joining Forces to Put on Such a Good Show. So, that blood is really his sister's blood. But Bai Yusheng never believed that it was Jiao Angzhen's blood. But where did Jiao Angzhen and Shenro get his sister's blood? Bai Yusheng suddenly remembered something. His expression changed, and he clenched his phone. There was a blood donation event 2 days ago, and many artists participated. Do you know where the blood donated by those artists was finally sent? Blood donation charity event? I know this, because the blood of those artists was sent to our hospital. What did you say? Was the blood sent to you? Yes. The person on the other end of the phone didn't know why he was so surprised and asked curiously, Mr. Bai, is there any problem? Has all the artist's blood been sent to your hospital? Yes. The truth has almost come out. Chiao Mian also participated in the blood donation charity event. After a while, Bai Yusheng hung up the phone and dialed another number. Soon, the call came through, and he called out respectfully, Master. There was a cold look in Bai Yusheng's eyes. After taking a deep breath, he ordered the person on the other end of the phone, go and help me find out something immediately. There are people behind the scenes of the blood donation charity event held by Angel Home 2 days ago. Which people? Yes, Master. The people under Bai Yusheng worked very efficiently. After more than 10 minutes, everything was clearly investigated. When Bai Yusheng heard that one of the organizers behind the scenes was Shen Rou, his eyes turned completely cold. His eyes were as if they were tempered with ice, and his eyes were frighteningly cold. He knew that Shen Rou must be up to something. Qiao Angzhen alone can't do so many things. Now, by combining the information learned earlier and later, the truth of the whole matter has almost come out. It is probably that Qiao Angzhen learned about Qiao Mianmian's true identity from Qiao's father and wanted to replace him. But according to her status, she couldn't even enter the Bai family's gate without the help of others. Shen Rou already hated Qiao Mianmian, and when Qiao Angzhen came to her door, she naturally wouldn't refuse. The two of them joined forces to put on such a good show. I have to say that their plan was almost successful. If he hadn't had doubts and noticed something strange about Qiao Angzhen would have really replaced Qiao Mianmian. Perhaps he will never be able to recognize his real sister in this life. Bai Yusheng's eyes became colder by the inch, and a layer of cold air enveloped his whole body. Two women, Shen Rou and Qiao Angzhen, want to deceive the Bai family as fools, and he will let them know the consequences of deceiving the Bai family. Bai Yusheng has not been as angry as now for many years. He clicked on the stock operation app on his mobile phone and found the stock of Shen Enterprises. Half an hour later, attentive investors discovered that the share price of Shen Enterprises suddenly fell. The price fell very slowly at first, and it was almost difficult to detect if you didn't pay attention. The price went down little by little. Because the fall is very slow and very small, it has almost no impact. But if you observe carefully for a period of time, someone will find that although Shen's stock price falls very slowly, it keeps falling. The decline has never stopped. If it follows this trend and falls for one day, the decline will be very scary. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1244. Chapter 1244, Just be aggrieved this time, okay. Asterisk. What the shareholders have discovered, Shen also discovered it. Shen Yunchinj, chairman of Shen Corporation, had a rare day off to spend time with his wife and children at home. After spending less than half a day with her, he received a call from the company. When he answered the phone, Mrs. Shen and Shen Rou were sitting next to him. Shortly after seeing it, Shen Yunchin's expression changed. He almost jumped up from the sofa. What? How could this happen? Have you found out what happened? A few more seconds passed. Okay, I'll go back to the company right away. I don't care what methods you use, you must stabilize me. After hanging up the phone, Shen Yunchin stood up with a pale face. He didn't even have time to say hello to Shen Rou and Mrs. Shen, and turned to leave. Master, what's wrong? Seeing him like this, Mrs. Shen knew that something must have happened to Mr. Shen, and she was worried and anxious. Did something happen to the company? Shen is now experiencing an economic crisis. If it weren't for the fact that the Shen family had accumulated some foundations over the years, it would have been impossible. At times like this, if something happens to the company again, it will really make matters worse. Shen Yunchinj pursed his lips and his voice trembled a little. Don't worry about some minor issues. It's just that I need to go to the company to handle those matters in person. I'll be back as soon as I'm done. I agreed to have dinner with you tonight. I remember it all. After saying that, Shen Yunchinj left in a hurry without further explanation. Although he just said it was just a minor problem. But Mrs. Shen is not a fool. She can't tell that there must be some big problem. Otherwise, he wouldn't have turned pale and hurried to the company immediately after answering the phone. Mrs. Shen was worried. Rura, something must have happened in the company. Your father was afraid that we would worry, so he didn't tell us the truth. What should we do? Mr. Shen can't have any more problems. If there is another problem. Beside her, Shenro frowned. She also felt that something had happened to Mr. Shen. And it's definitely not a small thing. Rura. Mrs. Shen suddenly turned her head to look at her, took her hand and said, something must have happened in your father's company. You know what kind of situation our Shen family is in now. If this continues, Shen family will not be able to support it. How long? Do you really want to see our Shen family decline? Shenro was stunned and her face changed slightly. Mom, I am from the Shen family. Why would I want to watch my family decline? So, if you want the Shen family to survive this difficult time, you must contribute to the family. Rura, Mom knows that you have your heart, but you can't afford to wait now, and neither can our Shen family. Just think that it's for this family that you have to suffer this time, okay? If you continue like this, if others know that something is wrong with the Shen family, who else will think highly of us Shen family members in the future? Can you tolerate others looking down on you? Of course not. She has always been someone who has been looked up to and supported by others. For someone like Shenro who is used to being superior, she absolutely cannot accept that she has changed from a daughter of a wealthy family that everyone admires, to a pitiable creature and a joke in the eyes of others. This is worse than killing her. Rura, Mrs. Bai called me yesterday and said that she likes you very much. From what she said, I am willing to bring you and Bai Yusheng together again. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1245. Chapter 1245. Don't be obsessed with Mo Yesi anymore. Bai Yusheng is excellent both in terms of family background and personal conditions. Believe me, mother, you will be happy if you follow him. You should stop being obsessed with Mo Yesi. Shenro clenched her fists and was about to speak when her cell phone dinged. She looked down and her expression suddenly changed. Is a current news item. The above shows that an hour ago, Shen's stock price suddenly fell, and it was still falling in a very strange way. The decline is very slow at the beginning, so slow that the decline is negligible. However, although the decline is slow, it continues to fall every minute. So much so that after an hour, Shen's stock price actually fell a lot. What's even more strange is that the decline was very slow an hour ago, but after an hour, the rate was obviously much faster. According to analysis in the news, if it falls in this way for one day, it will definitely have a terrible impact on Shen's stock market. Shenro thought of the phone call Father Shen had just received and his hurried departure. Her hand holding the phone trembled, and her face turned pale. Rura, what's wrong with you? Mrs. Shen said for a while, but didn't hear Shenro's response. She turned her head and saw her pale face, and was startled. Shenro didn't speak, her face turned pale and she was still reading the news. Mrs. Shen followed her gaze and looked down. After a while, her face turned pale. Even after Mrs. Shen married Shen Yunchinj, she had always stayed at home to raise her husband and children and never went out to work again. But that doesn't mean she doesn't understand anything. She usually does stock trading herself and has a certain understanding of the stock market. Your dad just said it was a minor problem. Mrs. Shen immediately took the phone over, clicked on the news and read the whole news carefully. Her face became paler. I knew something big must have happened to the company. Why did Shen's stock price suddenly drop so much? It had always been very stable before. Oh my God, what can I do? If it continues to fall like this, how can the Shen family be able to sustain it? Could it be, is it that the Shen family is destined to fall into this disaster? Mom, don't be anxious. Seeing that Mrs. Shen was so anxious that she was about to cry, Shenro, although she was also extremely anxious, patiently comforted her. It's normal for the stock market to rise and fall. If it were really normal, your dad wouldn't be so anxious. I wouldn't be worried before, but now. Mrs. Shen grabbed Shenro's hand tightly. Rura, Mrs. Shen now can't withstand the wind and rain. Fight. If it continues to fall like this, Shen will be in real danger. What can we do? What can we do? Mrs. Shen suddenly raised her head and cast hopeful eyes on Shenro. But soon, her eyes dimmed again. The current situation of the Shen family requires a certain amount of funds to support it. But now, who is willing to invest a large amount of money in Shen? She originally wanted to let Shenro marry into the Bai family. In this case, relying on the marriage with the Bai family, she could use the Bai family to help the Shen family survive this crisis. But now, even if Shenro agrees to this matter and Bai Yisheng agrees to this matter, they cannot get married immediately. The Bai family is even less likely to be willing to invest in the Shen family right away. Shenro looked at Mrs. Shen's panic and fear. After taking a deep breath, she squeezed Mrs. Shen's hand and said, "Mom, don't worry, I will find a way." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1246. Chapter 1246. Do you want to bet with me again? Tell me, what should I do now to help the Shen family overcome this difficulty? She is from the Shen family. If Shen's enterprise is really hit to the point of collapse, as the daughter of the Shen family, her life will not be easy in the future. She still knows the principle of loss, and prosperity, and prosperity. She is now sought after and respected by others outside, and that is because others do not know the current situation of the Shen family. Once people know that the current Shen family is almost an empty shell, no matter what the four famous families are, who else will take her seriously? Shenro didn't want to think about days like that. So no matter what, she couldn't let the Shen family get into trouble and let others know the true situation of the Shen family. What else can be done? Mrs. Shen didn't have much hope for her. She stretched out her hand to wipe her tears and said, "In this situation, someone needs to inject a sum of funds into the Shen family. But this amount of money is not a small amount, and there are who is willing to take it out easily. If you want to say that the one with the best relationship with our Shen family is the Mo family. But your father refuses to talk to the Mo family, and you know how proud he is. Once he opens his mouth, won't people know that our Shen family are you short of money? Besides, no matter how good the relationship between the Mo family and us is, businessmen always put profits first. If the Mo family is still in charge of your uncle Mo, there is still hope of borrowing a sum of money. But the person in charge of the Mo family now is Mo Yesi. I'm afraid he won't inject capital easily." Shenro bit her lip. Yes, Mo Yesi is in charge of the Mo family now. He broke off with Jiao Mian because of that woman. How could he be willing to lend money to Mr. Shen? Asking to borrow money from him only made him look down on her even more. "Mom, don't worry," a figure flashed in Shenro's mind. After being silent for a few seconds, she said in a deep voice, I will find a way around the money. I will not let the Shen family be reduced to the eyes of others. It's a joke. Rura, where are you going to find money? You. Don't worry about it. In short, I will definitely find someone to inject capital into Shen's business. She no longer had any hope in Mo Yesi. But another person. She believed that he would not be as ruthless as Mo Yesi. If anyone can help Mr. Shen get out of this predicament, that person must be him. Asterisk. After lunch, Chiao Mian and Mo Yesi sent Chiao Chen back to school. After watching Chiao Chen walk into the school gate, Chiao Mian sighed and said with some worry, I'm a little worried about Chen Chen. Do you think he will? Don't worry, Mo Yesi shook her hand and comforted softly, I think Chen Chen's mental endurance is not as bad as you think. It's normal that he can't accept it for a while. When he goes back, he will accept this slowly. Then what do you think Chen Chen will choose? Mo Yesi had said before that Zhang Luli would definitely be with Mo Shixiu in the end. Then the two of them really got together. Chiao Mian felt that he was better than herself at detecting people's hearts, so she wanted to hear his opinion. Beside him, Mo Yesi turned his head, raised his eyebrows slightly, and asked in an unexpected way, do you want to bet with me again this time? Chiao Mian was startled, remembering that she lost the last bet, and then suddenly her legs felt a little weak and her waist felt a little sore. She lost that time, and Mo Yesi, a beast, took the opportunity to torment her to death. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1247. Chapter 1247. Are you willing to do it? How dare she make a bet with him again? She didn't want to be unable to get out of bed for days and nights. Chiao Mian refused without thinking, shaking her head heavily, no. Are you sure? I am sure. Okay, Mo Yesi sighed, his tone sounding like he was a little disappointed. Mo Yesi, you haven't answered my question yet. Chiao Mian reached out and pinched his arm gently. What do you think Chen Chen will choose in the end? Will he be willing to recognize you as his second uncle? Baby, that's your second uncle too, Mo Yesi corrected. Chiao Mian. She always forgets that since she married Mo Yesi, his elder is also her elder. Oh, please don't bother me with this little issue, tell me what you think. If you're asking for my opinion. Seeing how anxious she was, Mo Yesi thought about it seriously before replying to her, baby, I don't know. You don't know? Chiao Mian was stunned for a moment. Yeah, Mo Yesi nodded, this matter is different from the previous ones. So I can't guess what Chen Chen was thinking. No matter how he went to the orphanage in the first place, it was indeed because of his second uncle. He will be taken away by bad guys. The only good thing is that the man sent him to an orphanage and did not kill him. So he can still live well until now. He may have complaints in his heart, or he may not. Chen Chen, this child, looks simple on the surface, but in fact his true thoughts are very deep. Even I can't tell what he is thinking. Chiao Mian was silent for a while. Yes, even her sister, who had grown up with him since childhood, couldn't guess what he was thinking. How could Mo Yesi guess it? No matter what Chen Chen chooses, you can't force him. Of course, no one will force him. He is free to choose whatever he chooses. But what? Since he is a member of our Mo family, even if he refuses to return to the Mo family, the Mo family will still recognize him. My second uncle still has no children. He knows about Chen Chen's existence, and it is even less likely that he will ignore him in the future. Chiao Mian nodded, expressing understanding. Looking at the old lady's curiosity towards Chiao Chen, now that she knows that Chiao Chen is her biological grandson, she doesn't know how much more precious he will be in the future. As for the second master of the Mahist family, A person who has been childless for many years suddenly has a son, so he will definitely pay great attention to Chiao Chen. By the way, Mrs. Bai made an appointment for us to have dinner together tonight. Chiao Mian remembered her appointment with Mrs. Bai for dinner and asked Mo Yesi, can you get off work early today? Mrs. Bai invited you to dinner. It seems that Mrs. Bai really likes you. Mo Yesi narrowed his eyes and looked more thoughtful. Mian, have you ever thought about something? Huh, what? If Mrs. Bai really thinks you might be her daughter and wants to do a paternity test with you, would you be willing? The Bai family has been looking for their daughter for more than 10 years. Whenever you meet anyone who looks like their daughter, you must think of ways to identify them. Paternity testing. Are you willing to do it? Chiao Mian thought about it seriously. No problem. If they want to do it, just do it. Anyway, it's just to draw some blood from me, so it's not too much trouble. Mrs. Bai has been looking for her daughter for so many years, I can understand her mood. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1248. Chapter 1248, his words and deeds are really unlikable. What if? It turns out that you are really mother and daughter. What do you think? Chiao Mian was stunned immediately. She had never thought of such a possibility. Even if the Chiao family had already given birth to a child from the Mo family, she never thought that she would not be a member of the Chiao family. Forget it, you'd better stop thinking about it. Mo Yesi looked at her blank expression and reached out to rub her head. Anyway, whether you are from the Chiao family or the Bai family, you are already a member of the family now. My people. Whether it's the daughter of the Bai family or the daughter of the Chiao family, they are all my treasures. Chiao Mian. Caught off guard, she was flirted with again. Mo Yesi is a man who is really good at flirting and sweet talking. Asterisk. Later. Mo Yesi got off work early, bought some gifts with Chiao Mian, and then drove to Bai's house. 40 minutes later, the Bai family residence. The housekeeper who came out to pick up the people greeted them respectfully and said, Madam said she would personally cook a few dishes tonight and is still in the kitchen. So she arranged for me to come out to pick up Mr. Mo and Chiao Miss. Mo Yesi handed over the gift. Mrs. Bai is too polite, why did she cook it herself? The housekeeper immediately took the gift, hesitated for a moment, and then said with a smile, Mr. Mo and Miss Chiao are just being polite. They are just here for a simple meal, so there is no need to prepare gifts. Madam rarely cooks. It's also because I feel happy today. Miss Chiao and Mr. Mo don't know yet, but our wife has finally found her daughter who has been looking for her for more than 10 years. When the housekeeper talked about this, he didn't have much joy on his face. It seems to be just conveying normally. The housekeeper has been staying in the Bai family for decades and has already regarded the Bai family as his own home. He should be happy that the lady he had been looking for more than 10 years was finally reunited with his wife and the others. Only. When he thought of the young lady who had just been recognized, the housekeeper frowned, and a trace of displeasure flashed in his eyes. It had only been half a day, and after getting along with her, he felt that the young lady he had just met was not easy to get along with. My temperament is not very good. I just admitted to Bai's house, and put MSG Engine's shelves. Instructing the people below to do this and that for her. Even though she is the daughter of the Bai family, she has the right to do that. However, even the madam and the eldest young master have never used such a disrespectful tone to instruct anyone. She, who has just been recognized, actually treats them as the current people, without any respect in her words. His words and deeds are really unlikable. He could tell that the madam definitely didn't like her very much. I just thought about the debt I had owed for more than 10 years. After all, she was my own daughter, so I could only endure it. Just now, My wife called him aside and told him that he had been wrong today. She also said that Miss Angzen had grown up outside for more than 10 years, and it was normal for her words and deeds to be inappropriate, so she asked him to be more patient. Aunt Bai has found her daughter. When she heard the news, Chiao Mianmian's eyes widened in surprise. Mo Yesi was also startled and narrowed his eyes. Yes, the housekeeper said in a calm tone when talking about Jiao Angzhen. Suddenly, I found her. I did a paternity test and it was confirmed that she is the blood of the Bai family. But the housekeeper paused for a moment, then frowned. The young lady I just found is quite different from what I imagined. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1249. Chapter 1249 turns out to be sisters. The butler paused for a moment, then frowned. The young lady I just found is quite different from what I imagined. Miss Jiao, Mr. Mo, our young lady may have grown up outside. I haven't taught her any special etiquette, so if she does anything that dissatisfies you, I hope you'll bear with her. The housekeeper felt very uneasy when he thought of Jiao Angzhen's words and deeds. They were originally employees of the Bai family. It doesn't matter if you offend them. What's more, everyone in the Bai family now knows what kind of temper this newly recognized young lady is. But outsiders don't know. Outsiders are not as tolerant as they are. The guest here today is an honored guest of the Mo family. The housekeeper was very afraid that Jiao Angzhen would act like a young lady and offend the second young master of the Mo family. I wonder what kind of person this daughter Aunt Bai just recognized is. Have we met before? Mo Yesi was surprised for a few seconds, then returned to normal and asked in a normal tone. He always felt that there was something fishy about this matter. Judging from the various behaviors of Mrs. Bai and Bai Yusheng, they both seemed to think that Jiao Mian was the family member left behind by their Bai family. The night of the dinner, the Bai family's daughter had not been found yet. I haven't heard them say anything about it. But it only took one day and the person was found back. Isn't this a bit too fast? Furthermore, Mrs. Bai has invited Jiao Mian over for dinner today. If she has found her daughter before then, what will happen to tonight's dinner date? This matter seems to make no sense whatsoever. Mo Yesi had a lot of questions in his heart, but his face remained calm. At this moment, he was even more curious about the girl who had just been recognized back to the Bai family. Her adoptive father and mother are from a small family. You, second young master Mo, must not know her. But Miss Jiao should know her. The housekeeper didn't know Jiao Mian very well either. I only know that the second young master of the Mo family has found a girlfriend, who is an actress. Other information is not very clear. He thought that Jiao Angzhen was also in the entertainment industry, and he might know people in the same circle. I know him. Jiao Mian slowly recovered from her previous surprise. When the housekeeper said this, she asked curiously, "Who is it?" Just as the housekeeper was about to speak, a voice sounded behind him that was very familiar to Jiao Mian. "Uncle Zhao, why did it take so long to welcome a guest? Is the guest here?" Jiao Mian's eyes widened in an instant, and she looked behind the housekeeper in shock. Wearing a gorgeous long dress, Jiao Angzhen walked over with her head held high, followed by a maid holding an umbrella for her. Jiao Angzhen walked over slowly, walked in front of Jiao Mian, and stopped. She is shorter than Jiao Mian, but the look and eyes she looks up at Jiao Mian are condescending and proud. She met Jiao Mian's shocked and disbelieving gaze, curved her lips, showed a sweet smile, and shouted softly, "Sister, it turns out that you are the guest at home tonight." When she called her sister, a look of surprise appeared on the housekeeper's face. The Miss Jiao brought by second young master Mo and the Miss Jiao just recognized by the Bai family are actually sisters. So, they are a family. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1250. Chapter 1250 Recognized a liar. The housekeeper couldn't help but look at Jiao Mian a few more times, and as he looked at it, he became confused. Why does he feel that this Miss Jiao looks like Madame's daughter? There are many similarities between her eyebrows, eyes, and facial features, very much like the lady when she was young. And the other? The housekeeper glanced at Jiao Angzhen and frowned. Another relative, on the contrary, looks nothing like my wife. Jiao Angzhen lowered her head and glanced at the gift box in the butler's hand, and asked with a smile, "Uncle Zhao, what is that in your hand?" "Miss, this is a gift from Mr. Mo and Miss Jiao." No matter how much the housekeeper didn't like Jiao Angzhen, he was still very polite to her and respectful in his words. A gift? Jiao Angzhen glanced at it again, covered her mouth, raised her head with a smile and said, "Sister, you are too polite. Just come and bring any gifts." "Oops, it's so hot outside, don't stand all the time." "It's outside, come in and sit down." She had the air of a hostess. The steward next to him frowned when he saw this. Although the Bai family is indeed her home now, within less than a day of recognizing her, she already assumed the role of the hostess. If you stay in the Bai family for a longer time in the future, won't your arrogance be put on the sky? Until this moment, Jiao Mian was sure that the newly recognized daughter of the Bai family was Jiao Angzhen. Her eyes were full of disbelief. How could Jiao Angzhen be the daughter of the Bai family? Even if she is not from the Jiao family, she is still Lin Huijian's daughter. In any case, she has nothing to do with the Bai family. Just now the housekeeper said that the Bai family had done a paternity test. Jiao Mian felt even more confused and incredible. There is absolutely no way that Jiao Angzhen is the daughter of the Bai family, but what about the paternity test? Jiao Angzhen looked at her, eyes widened in shock, and of course he knew what she was thinking. As long as she thought that her current identity and position were snatched from Jiao Mian's hands, she felt extremely happy. She looked at Jiao Mian, the smile on her lips widened. "Sister, what's wrong?" Jiao Mian frowned, stared at her for a few seconds, then shook her head. "It's nothing." "Then go in and talk." Jiao Angzhen stretched out her hand and wiped her forehead, and said to the housekeeper in a commanding tone, "Uncle Zhao, go and prepare the tea. By the way, go and see if Mom is done. Tell her to stop being busy. It's so hot in the summer, and she has such a noble status, why should she cook by herself? There are a lot of cooks at home, just let the cooks make whatever you want to eat." The butler's expression changed. He clenched his fists and remained silent for a few seconds. He held his breath and said, "Yes, miss, I'll go get ready right now." Jiao Mian frowned and looked at everything, remaining silent and making no sound. She had too many doubts in her heart. This thing made her feel incredible. Last night, when Shen Ro took Jiao Angzhen to attend Bai Yisheng's birthday party, Mrs. Bai seemed very cold to Jiao Angzhen at that time. But one night passed, Jiao Angzhen became Mrs. Bai's daughter. What happened last night? No matter what happened, Jiao Angzhen was still lying. She cannot be Mrs. Bai's daughter. The Bai family has been looking for their daughter for more than 10 years, and now they were deceived and recognized a liar. This liar is still Jiao Angzhen. Jiao Mian's eyes showed anger, and she couldn't help but ask, "Jiao Angzhen, what are you doing?" End of this chapter.